All right, welcome to week 12. This week we are exploring chapter 10, which deals with the institution of the presidency. And like chapter 9, discusses issues like eligibility, the terms of office, and the powers of the chief executive found in Article 2 of the Constitution. Presidents enjoy extensive formal enumerated powers, but presidents also have formidable informal powers as well. So in addition to formal Article 2 powers like the veto and the appointment powers, presidents are also heads of their political parties, and presidents enjoy unrivaled ability to get their message out to the media, which the text describes as going public. Can you think of some other important enumerated powers? And can you provide some examples of informal powers? Related to the president's unique access to the public is another, kind of new informal power, and that is the power of the president to act as consoler in chief. The first contemporary president to take on that role was Ronald Reagan in the aftermath of the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster in 1986. Likewise, Bill Clinton acted as consoler in chief after the Murrah Federal Building bombing in 1994. George W. Bush enjoyed a huge jump in approval after his speech at the wreckage of the World Trade Center after the 9/11 attacks. And Barack Obama consoled the nation after the Sandy Hook elementary school shooting and gave an emotional address after the 2016 killings of 5 Dallas police officers. This idea that presidents can use the office to console grieving communities is a powerful way for presidents to improve their public approval. But what happens when presidents fail to show empathy in the face of tragic situations? Um, there's an iconic photograph of George W. Bush looking out one of the windows of Air Force One at the devastation of New Orleans while flying back to D.C. from a West Coast fundraiser. That might have, actually hurt Bush to a significant extent. He steadily shed public approval over the course of his second term. Likewise, pictures taken of Donald Trump in October 2017 shooting rolls of paper towels into a crowd of Puerto Rican Hurricane Rita survivors appeared to be profoundly insensitive. More recently, there's a picture of Donald Trump giving a grinning thumbs up during a photo opportunity with an infant whose parents had been murdered in a mass shooting in El Paso, Texas. Have Trump's just, kind of epic failings to act as a consoler in chief hurt him in public approval? That's certainly something we can discuss in the forum. Chapter 10 also provides a useful description of the expansion of presidential power, which generally has been occasioned by the emergence of crises that required quick and decisive action. One thing that's complicated contemporary politics is, of course, the rise of hyperpartisanship, which has led to gridlock or the inability of institutions of the federal government to actually do the things that go into the governing process. And that has meant that the past several presidents have felt compelled to force action by governing through the extensive use of executive orders. Additionally, there's the complication that we have the current president. Without engaging in any kind of expressed criticism, the current president is decidedly unorthodox. Donald Trump has clearly demonstrated his preference for acting outside the advisory processes designed to reduce conflict and ensure smooth policymaking. And these are, again, things that even in the best of times, our current presidents have been highly polarizing figures. This president is uniquely so. This week we just have again the weekly forum and quiz. As always, you get into these assignments what you put into them. If you prepare well for the quiz, you'll have a nice and pleasant experience. Likewise with the forum, if you throw some energy into the forum, you'll get a lot out of it. In any event, let's have a great week.